If you care about vote fraud, gentlemen, we're fighting it. We could use your help. Hey, if you care about vote fraud, we're fighting it. We could use your help. Thank you. If you care about vote fraud, gentlemen, we're fighting it. We could use your help. Thank you.
I know a girl who votes 8 times and has $1 million in the bank and is on food stamps and gets everything for free, including college.
How do you know she votes 8 times?
Because we know her. She does.
Would you call me later after the election? See, thank you. Thank you. Before I launched the Voter Integrity Project, I was a military officer, retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. I became worried that this is a fragile system that depends on people being fair and honest. If you're worried about vote fraud, here's how we're fighting it tomorrow. We could use your help. They're hiding something, and we're on to them. And that's the only question. It's not how many, it's, you know, we know they're doing it. The question is, how big a deal is it? Are they really trying to steal an entire nation?
And a lot of people are going through life with blinders on, or like I used to tell people, it's called the toilet paper tube syndrome. You got toilet paper tubes in front of your eyes, and all you see is that little bit of world right out in front of you through the toilet paper tubes. You don't see what all's going on out here. So if you're looking right here and you're not looking for voter fraud, you won't see voter fraud.
My name is Michael Evan Hires. I'm a 100% disabled veteran. I'm not married. I have the time, I have the skills, and have the desire to make sure that every American vote is legally cast.
The Voting Integrity Project is interesting. They've always had a bit of a gadfly, renegade, vigilante voter fraud, crusaders. They claimed that thousands of non-citizens were voting in the state where they would challenge voters at county boards of elections, and then they couldn't prove that really any of those were true.
It's about time we turned the lights on in the kitchen and started cleaning the cockroaches out of here.
Is there anyone in the audience today who received a notice that if they wished their name not to be removed from the voter rolls, they should be present? Stand up then and give us your name, please, ma'am.
Randy Burkhead.
Okay, sir. John McKee.
Well, North Carolina has a provision where a citizen can challenge the right of another citizen to vote. It's been on the books forever. Who else is going to know who's registered to vote unless another citizen does it?
Some of the laws that wind up being discriminatory today had discriminatory intent when they were first written in the early 1900s as part of the Jim Crow laws. For example, voter purging laws to cleanse the rolls.
And this was typically used in the Jim Crow era by whites who were trying to prevent newly enfranchised African Americans from having access to the ballot box.
Michael's methodology involves finding voters that the state identified as inactive.
These people have missed 2 federal elections, so they were listed as inactive. And I started sending letters to these inactive voters on the Cumberland County voter rolls.
The ones that came back marked by the post office as undeliverable are considered evidence that the voter no longer resides at that address. And Mike challenged those voters.
What the letter essentially says to Purged to maintain my voter registration as it is currently today. Whoever this guy is has challenged my right to vote. But the only way to defend your registration was to go in person. The process heavily favors the person doing the challenging. Not everybody is going to get a letter or have the time to defend it.
What do you want this board to know concerning your place of residence?
My primary place of residence is the address on my voter registration.
Yeah, I make a motion that the challenge to Ms. Burkett be dismissed.
Second. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The challenge against you is dismissed. Your voter registration remains. Now let's move on to Mr. John Lamont McKeithen Jr.
Some people have the knack of spotting anomalies. It's kind of like seeing a lump of coal in a bale of cotton. It'll just pop right out at you.
So let me just ask you, what do you want this board to know concerning your place of residence?
I do live and have lived at 7790 Stony Point Road.
It said 7790.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this says 7770.
Is there a possibility that people got struck from the rolls mistakenly because the post office did not appropriately deliver the mailings to them? There is a small possibility on that.
Challenges shall not be made indiscriminately.
I love the vote. It was instilled in us to vote. My grandma raised me up and my sister up to vote. You know, when we turned 18, that was our right. The address when I registered was 7660 Bridgewood Circle.
I'm gonna have you go and stand in that line so they can update you.
Okay.
All right. Next voter, please.
I need to make sure I do.
I got an old one until
See what you have. Karen, is this your address?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do you have something with your address on it?
The voting place. She told me I could not vote at all because I got to re-register because I'm nowhere in that system. They're not making it easy at all. It's tiresome, yeah. When I found out that I was purged off the rolls, and I was highly upset about it because, like I said, I grew up seeing my family vote. I know it's my God-given right today to vote, and I want to vote.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give concerning this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All the evidence shows that when someone is purged from the rolls, it's extremely unlikely that they're going to re-register. It's hard to get them to re-register. And I worry that it will diminish the will to participate in the political process.
And the danger is if states use unreliable information to take voters off the rolls, and if they do not give voters adequate notice and an opportunity to contest their removal, then we could have a situation where hundreds or even thousands of legitimate voters are being taken off of the rolls without their knowledge.
Good morning. Persons were engaging in an attempt to get voters purged, especially African Americans. We are fighting this. We believe and we hope that the courts will agree with us and we will have an immediate temporary restraining order.
Reverend Barber, that guy's made a name for himself. Congratulate him on a well-funded. He has a lot of out-of-state funding money, and he knows how to play that race card better than anybody I've seen, and really since the heyday of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, he has played that race card so well.
The NAACP filed a voter suppression lawsuit against the North Carolina Board of Elections, and today they won that case with a federal judge declaring that all voters purged from the voting rolls must be reinstated.
The NAACP in North Carolina, they filed a lawsuit in federal court, and actually they went judge shopping. They found a black female judge that they could influence emotionally, in my opinion, and not so humble opinion at that.
Those of us who are the descendants of people who had their cars blown up outside of churches right here in North Carolina when they were inside the church organizing for voting rights. When you come from that kind of lineage, you're not going to allow some loudmouth bigot to intimidate you.
The courts have said, you can't do any of this kind of stuff in the last 90 days. But they're going to put all these names back on the roll. We had a guy who worked for 2 years and got over 6,000 names removed in Cumberland County.
And they claimed that we were targeting blacks. I would be glad to get drug into federal court because that will give me the opportunity to expose the problems that we have in this state. I get 3 hots and a cot and full medical care if I go to jail. Except how are you going to put me in jail for following the law?
It's a Tuesday morning, but not just any Tuesday morning, Election Day.
Good morning, America. Election Day 2016.
Election Day officially starts right now.
So who did you vote for? Tough decision.
If Hillary wins, I'm done, probably. I don't know what will happen, but it scares the crap out of me because if she wins, I'm afraid I'll be hunted down like a dog.
Michael Evan Hires.
verify that your address and information is correct, if you'll sign at the bottom for us, please.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Morning. My name's Michael Hires.
Michael Hires. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, you may not think so when you go back and research my name, but I'm the fellow that's been filing the voter challenges. Let's face it, there are unscrupulous people out there, and they could go to the polls and impersonate somebody. I tell you what,
It's a pleasure.
if I could get more people of all, I don't hate to say race because we're all the human race,
Yes.
but more ethnic backgrounds involved in this, that way people wouldn't be taking pot shots at me. The NAACP is hot as a pistol at me right now, claiming I'm suppressing the black vote.
Well, I think you would.
They're accusing me of targeting minorities.
Oh, okay.
They're throwing mud on the wall and trying to get it to stick.
Really piqued my curiosity.
But if you're interested in getting involved, look up voterintegrityproject.com.
I will remember that. Right now, I have to go on late for work.
Okay. Well, have a good day.
Have a wonderful day.
What we're going to try and do is have data collectors sitting there passively collecting data on license plate numbers, see if we can figure out which people, if any, are going from voting location to voting location. The illegitimate reason would be if someone is what we call a serial voter and going from location A to B to C, using a different name at each one. And what we want to know is how prevalent is this?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Emergency, call me.
Can I talk about one state that's going to come up at 7 o'clock that we have?
So what we could do is call the State Board of Elections and have them intervene, but I just called somebody with an undercover camera. The bottom line is we're trying to collect evidence of voter impersonation fraud. This is what I call criminal enterprise level vote fraud. You see any vote fraud?
Not yet.
I gotta take this. Hey, Jam.
Have you seen any fraud, heard of any fraud?
No, we have not. No, with only 6 data collectors, the odds of getting someone who showed up at 2 locations are slim and none.
Say to Jada Lancey and Mike Hires?
Basically, if you want to challenge me, please contact me first. A challenge is a challenge, and if I challenge you to a chess match, I need you to play with me. At least come back, show me what you got. So.
And until we can say, without doubt, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, until that means exactly what it says, we are still working toward becoming a more perfect union.